This is the first video of complete thyroid series. In this series, we will cover thyroid from biochemistry, pathology, pharmacology, surgery, and NEET PG perspective, step by step from basics to diseases. So, let's start with the most important foundation, thyroid hormone synthesis. First, visualize thyroid follicle. There are three important components: blood vessel, follicular cell, colloid. All thyroid hormone synthesis revolves around these three. Step 0: Thyroglobulin synthesis. Thyroid follicular cells synthesize thyroglobulin. It is synthesized in rough endoplasmic reticulum, processed in Golgi apparatus, packed into vesicles, and secreted into colloid. Thyroglobulin is a large glycoprotein containing multiple tyrosine residues. These tyrosine residues will later be iodinated. So, thyroglobulin acts as a scaffold for thyroid hormone synthesis. Remember this clearly. Thyroglobulin is synthesized in follicular cell, but iodination occurs in colloid. Step 1: Iodide trapping. Now, iodide comes from blood. Iodide enters the follicular cell from capillary via sodium iodide symporter, also called NIS. This is secondary active transport driven by sodium gradient. The sodium gradient is maintained by sodium potassium ATPase. So, sodium enters the cell and iodide comes along with it. This is called iodide trapping. This step occurs at the basolateral membrane. This step is stimulated by thyroid stimulating hormone TSH and inhibited by perchlorate and thiocyanate. Now, important clinical point: daily iodine requirement. Adults require about 150 micrograms per day. Pregnancy requires about 220 to 250 micrograms per day. Lactation requires about 250 to 290 micrograms per day. Children require approximately 90 to 120 micrograms per day. The only biological role of iodine in the human body is formation of thyroid hormones T3 and T4. Sources of iodine include iodized salt, most important, then seafood, dairy products, eggs. Iodine is volatile, so iodine is lost when salt is kept open, exposed to air, or added early during cooking. So, iodized salt should be added after cooking. Now, another very important exam concept: goitrogens. Goitrogens are substances in the food that prevent utilization of iodine. They are present in cassava, maize, millets, bamboo shoot, sweet potatoes, beans. These interfere with thyroid hormone synthesis. Cabbage and tapioca contain thiocyanate, which inhibits iodine uptake by thyroid. Mustard seeds contain thiourea, which inhibits iodination of thyroglobulin. So, goitrogens can block different steps of thyroid hormone synthesis. Step 2: Iodide transport into colloid. After entering follicular cell, iodide moves to the apical membrane. Then iodide is transported into colloid via Pendrin transporter. Defect in Pendrin causes Pendred syndrome, leading to goiter and sensory neural deafness. Step 3: Oxidation. Iodide cannot bind directly to tyrosine residues of thyroglobulin. So, iodide must first be converted into iodine. Iodide is oxidized to iodine by thyroid peroxidase TPO. This occurs at the apical membrane facing colloid. This step requires hydrogen peroxide. TPO is very important because it catalyzes three steps: oxidation, organification, coupling. TPO is inhibited by propyl thiouracil and methimazole. Step 4. Organification. Now iodine binds to tyrosine residues of thyroglobulin. This forms MIT, monoiodotyrosine, and DIT, diiodotyrosine. This process is called organification. This occurs in the colloid. Next step is coupling. Now iodinated tyrosine combines. MIT and DIT forms T3 and DIT and DIT forms T4. This step is also catalyzed by TPO. These hormones are still attached to thyroglobulin. They are not released yet. Next step is storage. Thyroid is unique. Hormones are stored in colloid bound to thyroglobulin. This is the only endocrine gland that stores hormone extracellularly. Next step is release. When body needs hormone, TSH stimulates follicular cell. Colloid is endocytosed. Vesicles fuse with lysosome. Thyroglobulin undergoes proteolysis. T3 and T4 are released into blood. MIT and DIT are deiodinated and iodine is recycled. Now the most important structural concept. T3 and T4 are just iodinated tyrosine molecules. They contain two tyrosine rings plus iodine atoms. T3 contains 3 iodine atoms. T4 contains 4 iodine atoms. They are not peptides. They are not proteins. They are amine hormones derived from tyrosine. Because coupling forms two aromatic rings, thyroid hormones become lipid soluble. This is why thyroid hormones bind plasma, enter nucleus, act via nuclear receptors, have long half-life. So this is all about thyroid hormone synthesis, storage and release. This is the first video on thyroid series. In the next video, we will cover transport of thyroid hormones and binding proteins. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.